Today we're going to be taking a look at one of my favorite decks of all time, Zorobox. Zorobox has always been one of the most fun decks in the format to play, but it has always been held back by Sableye and other damage spread decks. Now that we have Jirachi and Manaphy, we're able to protect our bench and we can actually play Zorobox. With the fall in the play of Lost Box and the rise in the play of two prize decks, Zorobox is in a fantastic meta space. Let's take a look at the deck list and we'll see what we're cooking with. All right, one of the first things you'll notice is with the Ralts and the Kirlia line, we only play a 2-2. I found that if you play any more than this, you have to really start cutting some of the cards you need to win the game. So we only play the 2-2 line and we use our Basculin to try and set up. We do like to go second if we're able to. If we're playing against Gardevoir or other setup decks like Goldingo, we do choose to go first just to slow down our opponent because there's no threat of being knocked out on the very next turn. If we're able to be donked going first and our opponent going second, we do like to go second to prevent that. Some noteworthy cards that just released, we have the Paldean Fates Camerupt. The Cinder Cannon attack does 240 damage, which allows us to knock out Roaring Moon, Iron Hands, Entei, and all of those Pokemon that have 230 HP. That was just extremely hard for this deck to deal with until Camerupt came out. Another new card we got the Lanturn, also from Paldean Fates. Lanturn does 200 damage with its attack, Aqua Spark. Aqua Spark is really good against decks that only have like 180, 190, and 200 HP, such as like Mew VMAX, Genesect V, and Mew V only have 180 and 190 respectively. So if this is in your discard pile, it is a usable option to take out some basic V Pokemon, and it also hits things like Inteleon VMAX for weakness. It also hits Pidgeot EX for weakness. We do play both Flapple and Scizor in our deck here. The main reason we play the Flapple is because it is searchable by Level Ball. We do play a 4 count of Level Ball to be able to search out our Zorua, Ralt, Kirlia, Basculin. So being able to search the Flapple when we need something to discard or just to attack with is very nice. We can use the basic energy and we can also use the reversal energies to attack with the Flapple. Whereas with the Scizor, if we're ahead in prizes, we can only use the basic metal energy to attack. We do play 3 basic metal energy, 4 reversal, and 2 double turbo. I've been kind of going back and forth on the basic energy, maybe only playing 2 of these and 3 double turbo, but I've been liking the extra basic energy for retreat purposes. It's more likely you're able to draw into that at the beginning of the game to retreat into your Basculin to get your full setup. Our trainer count here is a little strange. We do play the 3 super rods and the Klara. You could also just cut the Klara for a 4th super rod. I like having the Klara because we do play the buddy catch Gallade, and you're able to search out the Klara, whereas you're not able to search out the super rod. One of the tech cards in this deck is Arezu. Arezu is one of my favorite tech cards for this deck because it allows you to search for 3 evolution Pokemon. The 3 evolution Pokemon could be in any combination: Zoroark, Kirlia, Gallade. You could also just do the Kirlia evolve and then grab the perfect attacker for the situation you're in. If you're playing against Charizard, you can grab the Scovillain and discard it with the Kirlia, and you're set up for the rest of the game. Late game, it's also really nice to be able to set up multiple Zoroarks on the bench to put your opponent in that checkmate scenario. It's a really fun deck to play. I've personally finished first place in a couple of league challenges. I've made top cut in a couple of league cups, and I've been in a lot of winning in last round matchups for other league cups. We do play the 4 Iono. Hand Disruption is amazing, and it's a really good card to have going second just to help your initial setup. This deck does struggle with setup initially. That's why we do run so many ball search options for our Basculin. And I mean, that's it. Let's go ahead and let's hop into some games and let's show how this deck works. All right, let's hop into some matchups. Some of our worst matchups. There's not really any really bad matchups, but some matches that we struggle with. We struggle with anything that plays Radiant Greninja if they're able to get off like a Canceling Clone double cross switcher play on our Manaphy. We also struggle against like Delphox V if it catches us by surprise. So when in doubt, bench Manaphy. Always bench Manaphy if you can. Our optimal board state is Basculin in the active, 2 Ralts, 2 Zorua, and the Manaphy. If they are for sure not playing any bench sniping, you can replace that Manaphy with an additional Zorua just to keep this cycle going. Phantom Transformation is one of the most fun abilities we've ever had. I really wish this deck was not rotating in this upcoming rotation that's happening in a couple of weeks. I think this deck has a lot of potential if it were to stay in the format. This is kind of a rough start. Looks like we're also playing against a deck that has Radiant Greninja, which is unfortunate. We do get 3 mulligans here, which I think is going to end up saving us. We play the Zinnia's Resolve mainly because we have very few discard options. If we had more discard options in the deck, like Professor's Research or anything like that, we probably wouldn't play Zinnia's Resolve. The reason we don't play Professor's Research, whereas most Zoroboxes do, is because it discards your special energy, and your special energy are your most valuable resource. If you're accidentally, or purposely throwing those into the discard pile, it can 100% just lose the game for you. So we like to keep a hold of our special energy by playing Zinnia. I would rather draw, 4 or 5 cards with Zinnia and keep my special energy versus discarding my entire hand and drawing 7. I've never come into a scenario where I haven't been able to work around not having Professor's Research. Luckily, we already have the Manaphy in hand. We can go ahead and discard the Camerupt and the Jirachi here to draw 5 cards with Zinnia. It's a pretty good setup. We have both Kirlia in hand already, so we can actually get our full board state here with Gather the Crew. Unfortunately, we only have 1 Ralts, so we're going to grab a Flapple instead and use it as discard fodder. And we're actually going to dump one of our Kirlias so we can Phantom Transformation into the Kirlia. So one of the best parts about using this deck is you're able to Phantom Transformation into your draw engine. So let's go ahead and play this other level ball, grab an additional Zorua, and then we're going to Gather the Crew, grab a Ralts, and the other Zorua to finish up our bench. This should allow us to Phantom Transformation into a Kirlia, and we should be able to get our best attacker, which is Scizor, which should knock out the Chien-Paos in 1 hit because it is weak to the metal fighting type. There's a good shot we'll be able to attack with Flapple as well. Flapple being a good attacker because they just play so many abilities. Need to fix this camera angle here while we're waiting on our opponent. It's kind of cutting off my head, isn't it? Can't have my head being cut off. All right. Strange. Gonna have to change like the pixel count and stuff like that. We're gonna mess with that later. Just deal with seeing my big shiny forehead for right now. All right, our opponent's playing Irida. They've already got their Bibarel down. They've already got their Basculin. Looks like they're gonna start swinging this turn, which is completely fine. If they start swinging this turn, we're gonna have a knockout on the Chien-Paos in return pretty easily. Yeah. The worst thing that could happen is they boss around the Basculin and it just keeps taking up a spot on your bench. After like the 3rd or 4th turn, you don't really want to have Basculin on your bench unless you're just going so far ahead in the prizes that you just need something in your active to keep your board state alive and allow them to catch up and get back ahead in the prizes. All right, so this is a really, really good situation here. Fortunately, we can't really get our hand down far enough to like use the Cynthia's Ambition. We're only going to be drawing 3 if we use it right now. So I'm going to use Kirlia's Refinement. Try and get some, discard, maybe an Ultra Ball. Did get the Metal Energy, which is fine. So what we can do is, before we play the Cynthia, we can Phantom Transformation. And just kind of play out our hand a little bit here. Play one of our Super Rods. Put back our Zorua and Zoroark. That's why we play a high count of Super Rod. We want to be able to use them whenever we need to. And, allowing us to use it just like that has allowed us to get our additional Kirlia into play. You can Phantom Transformation into another Kirlia here to keep drawing cards. All right, we're actually going to dump the Iono. I always keep the Pal Pad over any supporter because you can put the supporters back with Pal Pad, and then we can search them out later with our Buddy Catch. Let's see. I don't think we really need to do anything else. We're going to hold the Ultra Ball just in case we need it for our Zorua next turn. We want to keep attacking here. They're going to have so many abilities in play that we're going to be able to keep the pressure on pretty heavily. If we can grab our Buddy Catch Gallade next turn, we can just start bossing up like the Baxcalibur, for instance. And we're able to recycle our basic metal energy, so we're in a really good position right here. I wish we had something else on the bench. This is where like the Basculin being promoted back up would be fine, because you can just gather the crew and, just allow them to take an additional prize card, because you want to be coming from behind with this deck. Yeah, they're just going to hit us with the waterfall here. Matches like Chi-Pao, Miraidon, Charizard EX, all of these like basic 2-prize decks and stage 2 2-prize decks, they're pretty much, like 80-20 as long as you get set up. I haven't really run into a situation where I've lost to these decks unless they just kind of run you over and you don't get set up or you don't see a supporter, which can happen with basically every single deck in the format. All right, so our opponent just bossed around and took out our only Zorua, which is fine. What we're going to do in return is we're going to Buddy Catch for a boss's orders here. So we're going to dump Iono and Scovillain. And we prized our Gallade. I did not pay attention to that, which is fine. Interesting. Let's go ahead and grab the Lanturn. And we're going to refinement that away. So next turn we have a knockout set up on the Gyarados with Aqua Spark. Yeah, we just keep refine. The Ionos are very, very powerful cards whenever you need them. But right now we just don't need them. We could actually use this Arezu over anything else in our hand. So that's what we're going to do. We don't even need to put anything back. Our opponent's just going to concede. It's one of those matchups where if you don't get the Greninja play, you're probably just going to lose. Greninja is just so powerful into the single prize decks. Another deck that this Zorobox really struggles with is like Regis. If the Regis start off really hot and they start attacking like immediately, sometimes you can just lag behind and miss one attack, whereas they can just continue to attack and you just get run over. Single prize decks are not the best thing to play against. Wug Trio, another like mill decks, Snorlax Stall, you don't want to see any of those alternate win condition decks. We really, really struggle with those. All right, jumping into the next match here, calling the coin flip. This is one of my favorite decks of all time. I've been playing it at all my league challenges, all of my league cups and everything lately. Honestly, I'm going to be kind of sad when it goes, but it had its time in the format. It just wasn't as powerful because of Sableye, Lost Box, Cramorant. Right now, honestly, when I play into like Lost Box decks, it's not too bad because most people only play one Sableye, one Cramorant. And if they hit you with the Cram Shot and you return KO them with something like the Scizor, they just don't have an answer for like 2 or 3 turns. All right, this is going to be a Basculin and manually retreat the Ralts into the Basculin play because we are going second. Depends on how much they set up here. If they get a bunch of Battle VIP passes, we're actually fine with that because it'll make our Zinnia's resolve more powerful. All right. The more abilities they put down, the better. If they think we're playing Gardevoir, this is going to be great because they're just going to fully set up the board here. They get another Battle VIP pass. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't grab Manaphy. Probably going to grab the Rotom, which is 2 free prizes later in the game. They're playing the Minior. They really don't want to lose to Snorlax Stall. Yeah, there's the Rotom. The more abilities they put in play, the better. Yeah, this is a pretty good situation for us as long as we didn't prize our Basculin. If we prize our Basculin here, it's going to be kind of rough. Let's see. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and grab this. We could have played the Zinnia first to see if we just drew into it, but I just want to guarantee it. Because there's no doubt that is going to be our play. Yeah, we're just going to hold everything else. This is kind of where you have to guess, are they playing the Delphox or are they not? Wow. Wow. Our prizes are terrible. Prize 2 Zorua and a Ralts. Do we have all of our Kirlia? We do have all of our Kirlia. We have our Gallade this time. We have all of our energy, which is great. Actually, we're missing one double turbo. It's kind of a rough go here. We're going to have to be careful. We will get 0 value out of a Gather the Crew unless we start pulling stuff off the prizes here pretty soon. We're going to have to Ultra Ball, grab our Kirlia, then that's tough. Hopefully they hit us with an Iono here because we need a lot. Like a lot of stuff here. Kind of getting bodied by the prizes, aren't we? It's unfortunate, but it happens sometimes. So we have a knockout on the Rotom right now. That may be the play for next turn, just taking the Rotom. Because we are missing a lot of stuff in the prizes. We need to start taking prizes. They're just going to start swinging. That's fine. Perfectly fine. We really, really need to see an energy right here so we can start swinging into that Rotom. Kirlia is also a good option. Maybe we could go for this. Let's grab the Scovillain. Let's try and get a reversal energy and take out that Charizard. There's the metal energy. I kind of want to roll the dice and just hit the Iono, see if we get the reversal energy. But we really should just take the prizes. And this allows us to set up for the next 2 turns. We're not going to be doing anything until they go down to 3 prize cards remaining. And there's 2 Zoruas. That was exactly what we needed to see. Exactly what we needed. It made that play 100% worth it. Now we just kind of chill for 2 turns. They could boss around and take out our Kirlia, which would be unfortunate. If I was playing the Zard deck, that's what I would do. They're just going to attack. They didn't... Maybe they just quick search for the Charmander. Just fine. That makes our life a lot easier. All right, let's go ahead and put back the Zoroarks. Probably not going to need that metal energy anymore. Go ahead and hit him with the Iono. Hopefully we get some stuff to discard here with the Kirlia. We're going to grab the other Kirlia. We could have swung with the Flapple here doing 150 damage, but it just doesn't seem worth it. So we're just going to hold the hand. And next turn, we're going to evolve the Zoroark potentially into the Scovillain with the reversal energy. And then we're going to discard the Kirlia. And if we get another Zoroark, we're going to Phantom Transformation into that other Kirlia. Charizard's one of those matchups where it seems like they're doing a whole lot and it gets kind of scary, but honestly, you're just kind of hanging out waiting for them to take prizes. In this situation here, if you're ever playing Zorobox and they only have one Kirlia on their bench, bossing around this Zorua, taking out that Kirlia is by far the better play. It's not even close. But it looks like they're just trying to get a second attacker online here before they start doing anything else, which is respectable. That's kind of the whole point of Charizard. You just start swinging. Just start swinging. Yeah, so we just have the play here for our Scovillain. And then we go down to 2 prizes. Then we let them take 2 more prizes. And then we hit them with the Slowbro. Or we hit them with a Scovillain again. And we basically got everything here. We're going to hold on to the Ultra Ball. All right, we got 3 Zoroarks in the deck. Don't think we need anything else before I start wasting the resources. Yeah. This is a good time to go into the Gallade. The problem with Phantom Transformation right there into another Kirlia is they could have bossed around and just taken out our other Zorua, and we'd be kind of in a tough position if they did that. Because if they did it in back-to-back turns, then we would never get to the Slowbro play at the end of the game. So this is the play we had to make here. Now if they boss around and like take out the Gallade, we still have the Scovillain online, which is fine. There's our Pal Pad and the double turbo we were missing. We're going to grab a Klara off of this buddy catch next turn if they don't disrupt our hand. Grab back probably 1 Zorua, 1 Zoroark, and both of these energies. If they get another ability in play, we're going to swing with the Scizor to set up a 2-hit knockout, which we do not need. This is just a long, long match. I think all we need to do here is just grab the Klara. We don't even need... We're going to grab 1 energy just to set up a potential retreat, just in case they try and trap something. But we should be fine. We're setting up for the Slowbro for next turn. I think that kind of guarantees it. If they boss around, take out the Zoroark, we can buddy catch and grab the Arezu or the Klara because we still have 1 Zoroark in the discard pile. I think we just kind of have game set up here. I don't know what they could do. If we had Manaphy, I would be grabbing Manaphy to put it down, but we don't, unfortunately, just to be safe. I mean, we're just going to pass. Let them take that last prize card, then just hit him with the Slowbro for the victory. It's about as simple as it gets and straightforward. Almost all of the Charizard matches end up this way. You hit him with 2 Scovillain, and then you just end it with the Slowbro. Sometimes you hit him with the Lanturn. If you can boss up the Pidgeot, take out the Pidgeot, it's even better. If we get burned, yeah, see, they're going to boss, take out the Zoroark. That was kind of our decoy there, because even though they're taking out the Zoroark, we still have the Buddy catch. Might just throw out the Cynthia's Ambition and just hope for it, just for the memes. This does set up the Slowbro play. This is why I like Zorobox so much. That Slowbro play is just so much fun to get. Like, if you get it in person, people are just like, oh, that's crazy. And it's a good time. It's a riot. And this is another reason we play the Arezu. Because if we still needed the Slowbro, we could have grabbed the Slowbro, could have grabbed the Zoroark, we could have grabbed everything we needed to finish off the game here. We can win so many different ways. We can hit him with the Scovillain again, but we're just going to do the Slowbro. Twilight Inspiration for the win. Yeah, give me the thumbs up there. He knows that was coming. Didn't see very many Ionos from our opponent there. I think he was kind of struggling to get a second attacker online. If we would have taken out that Charizard in the beginning instead of the Rotom, I think they would have been in really, really big trouble. All right, let's just hop into the next match here. And I gotta fix this space camera here. 206 by 37 pixels. Just got to remember where that button's at in OBS. Transform. Edit, transform. And then here's our pixels. So we want to make the top a little bit bigger. See the top of my head. All right, let's put it up. I don't think that did anything. All right, let's play the match. I can mess with that later. I think that might have made it smaller, which is fine. All right, Lost Box is really, really a sketchy matchup on paper, but if they don't get the Camerupt shot like immediately, and even if we're able to respond to the Camerupt shot with a knockout, it's really hard for them to get an attack like consistently. We could just be hitting them with Flapple and Scizor for multiple turns, and then they just kind of get behind. Still over here messing with the OBS transform. Yeah, we're just messing stuff up here. Got the fire energy. Looks like we're not gonna have to worry about the Greninja, which is amazing. This is kind of a tough decision. Like, do we grab the Basculin for the setup? Like, do we just hope that we rip? Like, hoping to rip it is just, it feels so bad. We're actually gonna dump the Pal Pad here. Yeah, we didn't get the energy, which is fine. So we're not even going to bench that. We're going to bench it, because if they get... the cram shot next turn, we want to be able to promote the Basculin. We're going to go down 2 prizes, unfortunately. Did not get the energy for the retreat, which is unfortunate, but it's okay. It happens. Yeah, so they're definitely going to have the cram shot here. If we had the energy, we would just be able to start attacking. But it's not guaranteed. That's the problem. If they take 2 prizes with Camerupt, you just kind of lose with this matchup, unfortunately. There's almost no shot we get an energy here. Yeah, didn't think so. There's the energy, of course. We could have started attacking. Just how it goes sometimes. We're going to need the Jirachi next turn. Yeah, just probably straight into the Camerupt. I would have went straight into the Camerupt. Unless they have like a crazy amount of switch cards here. If they get to 8, or if they get to 10 in the loss zone, we're in trouble. They could take out the Ralts and the Zorua with the Basculin for 2 prizes, and then we're just going to concede because at that point it's not worth it. Got to have the immediate response against Camerupt. If you don't take a knockout immediately right after he starts swinging at you, this is what happens. You just kind of get run over, and they have another Camerupt off a heavy ball. That's basically all they need to do is just keep doing the Camerupt hits. They don't even have to put down a 2 prize Pokemon here, and then they can recycle the Camerupts. They don't have a retreat here. That'd be kind of a big throw. Yeah, unfortunate, but sometimes that's just how it goes. If they're able to recycle all of their Camerupts here, we're just gonna lose. That's nice. That's a good card. We really need to get into something with more than 80 HP. That's the problem. Like if we have the attack, but we don't want that attack. I don't see any way to fix this either. Because if we use Gallade now, put it down with the Iono, then we can't discard the potential Scizor we're going to get. Yeah, we got to go for it. We can't put down the Gallade. We need the discard power. And there we go. We are rewarded by not doing that. Problem is, now we have to rely on these next 2 refinements to get our energy. Can we do it? Can we get an energy off of these 4 cards? What do you guys think? There's the energy. This is luck. Like, this was extremely lucky. Yeah, so the Scizor prevents them from just continuing to hit us with Camerupt, and it also resists their Tropius. So they're not getting a knockout next turn unless they boss around. I think we... Gonna discard the Zinnia. We could play Arezu next turn to grab the Gallade. Yeah, we got super lucky right there. Super lucky to pull all that together. We were just kind of getting run over, honestly. Oh, I didn't grab the Jirachi. Oh, I just threw. I didn't grab the Jirachi with the Ultra Ball. I was not paying attention. Here comes Sableye, which is fine. They could take out the Zoroark or the Kirlia. but it would have been nice to not get hit with that. Wasn't paying attention, didn't think about it. Are they just gonna swing with the Tropius here? They must be going all in for the Sableye play. No, just the Cram Shot. If they're not able to recycle these Cramorants for a couple of turns here, they could get really far behind. Yeah, we're just going to Arezu and grab stuff to discard. We're going to grab the Gallade. Let's grab this. And we're going to grab this. We have to get the Jirachi back immediately. This may be a list that doesn't even play Sableye. That'd be kind of crazy, though. We're going to keep everything in hand. I think we can pitch the Ambition. I think we got rid of our Pal Pad at the beginning, which is not ideal, but we do still have one Ambition left. The Ionos are too strong to be discarding. I think we just take the knockout. We may be able to come back in this match, even though going down 2 prizes to the Cram Shots. We may be able to pull this back because of the power of Scizor against these Lost Box decks. The only thing they have that can one-hit knock it out right now is Radiant Charizard, which they're not able to use yet. We're in a good position. We're in a really, really good position for playing against a Lost Box deck that got ahead on us 2 prizes. I wonder what they're going to grab here. Watch him just pull out the Radiant Greninja right here, because we haven't seen the Charizard or the Greninja yet. We're just going to fail that. I think they're going to take the knockout with the Tropius. Then we have the return knockout because Scizor does do 110. They're putting a lot of energy in play. They're kind of wasting their resources here. I'm not sure why they attached that additional energy to that Comfey, because that puts a lot of energy in play. All right, we got to put back some Zoruas here and try and get some out of. Or we could top deck one. Just top deck it and not even worry about it. That's the life right there. All right, we're just going to go straight back into the Scizor. That's why we play 3 basic metal energies instead of just 2. I like to be able to use Scizor against Lost Box. We have so many cards in deck, I'm actually not going to play down the Gallade. We cannot afford to dump any of those. So we're just going to keep everything. And not to play a single refinement this turn. That's how good things are. We don't have to play the refinement struggling to find something. If you told me that we went down 2 prizes to 2 Cram Shots before we were able to attack one time, I would have said we're going to lose this 100% of the time. But somehow we're pulling it together. Probably because they're wasting so many resources, to be honest. Yeah, they're just going to concede. That's crazy. That's kind of what I talked about, though. If they're not able to continuously recycle the Cramorants, they get in trouble in the mid game because they only have super high-end attackers like Giratina V-Star or Roaring Moon or the Radiant Charizard at the end of the game. And then the 1 Cramorant or 2 Cramorant in this case. And if they're not able to recycle them, they just kind of lose. they just kind of lose. I don't know how else to explain it. But if they are able to cram shot us and hit us with the Greninja, that's a whole different situation. That's 2 games. Let's play one more. Let's play one more game. See if we can get a hold of like a Chi and Pal matchup or a Miraidon matchup, just to show you how crazy favored those are. Even a good Gardevoir matchup would be really good, fun right now, because it seems like we're favored into Gardevoir. It's one of our worst matchups, just because Gardevoir is probably the best deck in the format. Even though it's so slow, it's probably the best deck. Like, if you had to like make me choose one deck to say it's absolutely the best, I would probably choose Gardevoir right now. We don't know what they're playing, so we're going to choose to go second. So we have the Basculin play online. You guys can check out the in the description. That's where the deck list's at. You guys can hop in the Discord channel if you want to have me, potentially play one of your decks on video. You can enter that into the Play My Deck section on the Discord channel. Come on, get set up. I need to fix this camera angle right over here. 3 Zorua, we'll take it. We will take 3 Zorua every single time. And this is why we choose to go second, because we have the Iono in hand. We could bench all these Zoruas, potentially grab the Basculin, or we could just grab a Ralts and not even worry about the Basculin, depending on what they're playing. Depends on how we want to set up our bench against what they're playing. Once we get the reveal on what they're playing, we'll know the optimal course of action. Charizard maybe, or Iron Valiant. If it's Iron Valiant, I'm going to be kind of upset, because they could definitely just donk us right here. If they grab 2 Iron Valiants off here, we're probably going to lose. It's Charizard, so we're fine. Iron Valiant and Rapid Strike Box seem like really bad matchups, but if they start taking prizes too quickly and you're able to at least survive the first couple of turns, like your Lanturn and your Scizor do massive damage to them, and the Camerupt can take out the NTVs on the side of the Iron Valiant, so it's really not as bad as a matchup as it seems. Taking 3 prizes with Lanturn and them only getting 1 in return is pretty optimal. As long as you have Jirachi on your bench to stop a Yoga Loop play on your bench, you can use your Zoroark Phantom Transformation to get rid of any damage counters they put in play on your Zoruas. So if they don't target down if they target down your Zoruas with damage counters, you can just get rid of those damage counters whenever it becomes dangerous. They didn't do a whole lot here, so we might... I think we're just going to do like a full setup here without the... Actually, we are going to grab the Basculin, just for the fact that we're probably going to be going ahead in prizes, so we're going to want something to basically sacrifice. We're going to save that Level Ball, and we're just going to Iono. Did not get what we were looking for. It's tempting to put down that other Zorua. It really is. I think we just hold it, though, because we're going to want to Ultra Ball for a Kirlia next turn. All right, this will be the last match of the stream. Got 3 matches in. We're 2-1 currently. They're Grabber. That's interesting. Grabber in a Charizard deck. Where were we at on the ladder with this? This is kind of crazy. We were playing a ranked match, so you don't normally see a lot of weird stuff like that. Normally, it's pretty straightforward deck lists. Most of the deck lists, you can just go to Limitless TCG and just look at the last, top 8 at the last regional, and that's basically what everybody's playing in ranked, it seems like. All right, we have to grab the Kirlia here. We might actually hit that Pokestop. Pokestop is such a bad card to play, because if you discard your special energies, you're in big trouble. But I think it's going to be okay this one time. We're going to hit Pokestop one time. Hey, it worked out. We actually still don't need to do anything. Just going to pass. I mean, until they start taking prizes, we can just kind of let them set up. The better they set up. Phone call.
Hello?
That was the worst time to take a phone call. They got their rare candy Charizard with their Entei play here, which is completely fine. Completely fine. We might actually just push up the Basculin here. I don't see a scenario where we get what we need. So we're just going to push up the Basculin. That's fine. Because if they take another prize, and then we take a 2 prize, and then they take another prize, then it just kind of sets up the game state to be 1 in 3 turns. We could go down 3 prizes to this deck, and we would probably still be fine. This might be another turn where we hit the Pokestop. Yeah, if we would have grabbed, yeah, we had a knockout. We just didn't take it this turn, which is fine. Still don't have Pidgeot, so the odds of them bossing up my Zoroark are very low. We still have plenty in deck. I don't think we need anything. I think we're just going to gather the crew. Grab our other Ralts. Do we want Manaphy? This is kind of a weird deck. I think we're going to grab Manaphy. We do have an extra bench slot. If they bench around the Basculin, we're going to be kind of in trouble because we just kind of wasted a bench spot on Manaphy just to be safe. Normally, I wouldn't do that, but I feel like we're in such a good position that it's going to be completely fine. Yeah, they're going to boss around it. So now we're going to be kind of limited on the amount of Zoruas we can put in play. But right here, all we're going to do is we're going to grab the Scovillain, and we might have to hit the Pokestop. We might have to hit the Pokestop again, trying to get a oh, they got rid of the Pokestop, which is fine. Yeah. Manaphy was probably a bad play, but I feel like we're okay regardless. All right, we got to grab the Scovillain here. We prized it. Of course we did. All right, let's grab the Camerupt. And we're going to toss the Camerupt. And there is our Zoroark. That's tough. Do we want to get rid of the Iono? I think we do. Ah, that's tough. Do we get rid of the Pal Pad or the Iono, guys? I think we get rid of the double turbo and the Iono. No, we're getting rid of the Pal Pad. We want to see 6 new cards here in a second. So we're going to take the knockout on the Entei V. We got to see 6 new cards to try and get another Zorua down. If we don't get another Zorua down, we're kind of in trouble. Didn't expect him to honestly have the boss's orders without the Pidgeot, but it happens. All right, let's see 6 new cards. We got to get a Super Rod here. We don't see a Super Rod here, we're in big trouble because all 4 of our Zoruas are gone. Yeah, they know. That's why they did that little cheeky face, because they know I didn't get another Zorua down. So they're going to be taking 2 prizes, which is okay. Promote the Basculin to gather the crew, kind of get the whole setup here. And then we have to take back-to-back knockouts and or Slowbro hits. Yeah, they're getting the Charmeleon set up here. If they just start going in and attacking with Charmeleon, once they take out the Camerupt, it's going to be a bad time. Interesting. This is an interesting deck. I know that Burn Brightly is pretty good, but I don't know how good it is to warrant adding another Charizard into the deck. Really tempted to pull up one of these Pidgeys here. Really tempted to boss up this Pidgey, because I know they just put back all that energy, but there's a good chance they just don't have. We could draw more cards, or we can pull up the Pidgey. What do you guys think? It's honestly a tough choice. Actually, I just want him to take the knockout. Like, we don't want to just sit here. We're going to attach the energy here in case they boss around. Let's pull out... I don't even know what we need. Could play Klara. Grab out some more stuff. We always need stuff. If they have another boss's orders, I think we might lose. Making me think here. Making me think. Probably could have just gathered the crew for those 2 Zoruas, but I wasn't honestly 100% sure if we had 2 more in the deck. Got to check prizes. Yeah, if they swap into... that Charizard, we're going to need Boss Zoroark. I hope they just swing here and not put that Charizard up. If they move the Charizard into the active, then yeah. So them doing that allows us to win. I don't think we would have been able to win without them doing that. They should have attacked with this. Yeah, so we're going to grab the Arezu here. Another match where the Arezu is like an MVP type card. Actually, we don't have Scovillain, do we? What am I doing? Let's just concede. Oh, I forgot we had to set up a 2-hit knockout on that. Yeah, we're just wasting our time. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes you just prize the one card you need to win a match. That is Pokemon Trading Card Game Live RNG for you. But 2-1, not too bad. Just kind of got unlucky there. If we had the Scovillain, we had the win. We had everything we needed to set up the win on that Charizard, as long as we had the Scovillain. Thanks for checking out the video, guys, and I'll hope to see you in the next one.